How's everybody doing tonight? So, I screwed up the other day. The piece I was working on Monday night that I got far along enough on, I screwed it up. I screwed it up so bad. So I spent what time I had yesterday and earlier today fixing it. And now, I'm going to repeat what I did on Monday night. Yay! Hooray! Let me switch this to the overhead cam. Alright, for anyone tagging along, I am live on all the major platforms that you would stream on if you want a different view. There we go. So there's an overhead camera where you can see what I'm doing on other platforms that if I name them, I'll probably get banned or something. I don't know. But I am on other places. So, how was your day? Okay, here's what happened. I have these European 4-in-1 diamonds that I'm working on, and I had stitched them all together like so, right? With nice seams going down, holding all 4 diamonds together, right? Looked good. When I went to go and connect it with the blackened stainless here, that just crunched it up. And I realized I'd done something wrong. I did this many years ago, and it laid flat. So I've been experimenting with doing it again, trying to recall how to make it lay flat, right? And what I had done is, if you look closely, the rings on the edge right here are larger than the rings in the middle, right? So the rings in the middle here are 16 gauge 1/4 inch, rings on the side are 16 gauge 5/16, and that's going to alleviate the crunching up of the weave of the diamonds, right? So, without further ado, I'm happy to have finally figured it out. All right. I'm glad to be working on this project. I'm very excited to see the end result of this project. It's gonna be cool. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Hang on. Silly me. I am looking at my computer. So if you've commented and I missed it, it's because I haven't pulled it up. Two seconds. There we go. All right. Can you hear music on TikTok? You can never tell. Okay, now I can see all the chats without missing them as they scroll by over here on my phone. Got my computer right here. So, oh, there's something I was going to tell you guys. What was it? That's going to bug me. I forget what it was. Oh, okay. I know what it was. It was the Luke Combs controversy. So, if you've been on TikTok at all today, I'm sure you've seen a story about how some lady was sued for $250,000 and it wasn't meant, there was no way she could afford it before Christmas or something. And it ended up not being the artist whose image she had used, right? And I guess he made things right in the end, like before the end of the day. That's how fast the world works right now, right? There's such proliferation of content that, you know, things get resolved without, you know, her having to file a bunch of court paperwork or something. But what had happened is she's a small business owner using his image on some tumblers, I think it was. And she got caught up in a lawsuit by his law firm. Like, he had lawyers out there supposedly looking for large corporations using his image, right? Like, that's the point of having lawyers, you know, so that nobody engages in copyright infringement or whatever it's called, right? I'm not a lawyer, but I am a small business owner, and I have a small business. Hi, Pulse. Making a pair of chainmail chonies? No. These are going to be covers for my saddlebags. So, saddlebag chonies. So, not a lawyer, am a small business owner, and, you know, my focus is on chainmail. From what I gather in the chainmail community, nobody can really copyright much. It would be really hard to copyright a weave or prove that a weave had never been created before and that you were the first designer of it, right? Things that are copyrightable in my area are like books that you write or tutorials that you write and stuff. But if you just come up with something and then try and claim it as your own and copyright it, highly unlikely that that's going to be protected in court, right? Possible, but unlikely. So I don't really run into this issue very much unless I was designing and selling chainmail inlays of copyrighted brands, right? Like, if I did. You got to learn how to do this stuff. All right, Pulse. My name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. If you go to my link tree, there is a Google link and an Apple link to the App Store where you'll find the Mailworks app. And inside the Mailworks app is all the resources I would have wanted when I first started making chainmail 3 decades ago, right? Tutorials, ring manufacturers, suppliers, where to find other people who make chainmail, stuff like that. And shameless plug for my store, of course. So, that's a great place to start if you want to learn how to make chainmail. And it's free, and, you know, I built it to help people. So, by all means, hell yeah, go check it out. Right on. Alright. But yeah, if I started making images of, or chainmail inlays of copyrighted products, I would end up in the same boat. And so, moral of the story is, if you're a small business owner or a, you know, part-time hobbyist at home, and you'll see these people, oh, thank you for the roses. They smell so nice. I gotta work on my AI impression. If you're a small business owner or part-time hobbyist just selling stuff that you make out of your house, please be careful with what images you use. Just because you can get caught up in something like that, and you might not have picked an image of someone who is as nice as Luke Combs, who I think he sent the lady $11,000 because her money got all locked up and everything. So, if you pick the wrong celebrity, that you might just have a really bad day. So, and here's another thing, right? I've wanted to be a small business owner for a long time. An entrepreneur, if you will, right? But I'm not very entrepreneurial, nor am I very business savvy, okay? I know how to make chainmail. So, I figured out how to make chainmail designs that I could print on clothing, and that was much more true to myself than anything I could have taken off of the internet or taken, you know, using someone else's designs or whatever, right? And I've had way more fun doing this than I think I ever would have had using, you know, someone else's imagery. So just be careful if you're going to get into selling stuff. I know a lot of people, even people using TikTok Shop, and like, yeah, okay, I want people to be successful, and I want them to make money. I don't have any problem with that. But I guess my understanding is that a lot of people got caught up in selling copyrighted merchandise on TikTok Shop and lost a bunch of money. That's a bunch of time and effort put into something that they're not going to get back. So start, you know, and if you want to sell, say you want to sell Dragon Ball Z merchandise, right? Take the time to get familiar with selling clothing, selling apparel, selling items, right? Using your own process. And once you have the money, go buy the license for it, right? It's not that you can't, it's just that you got to pay to do it, which sucks, but I don't want to see anyone waste their time, lose their money, you know, and have to start at the bottom again because they were just doing the exact same thing everyone else was doing. They just got caught. So, be careful out there. Alright. So, it wasn't on last night. Had wrestling practice. Got Christmas concert tomorrow night. Won't be on tomorrow night. Well, no, let's see here. Probably not, just because it's going to be busy. So, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe. And the Saddlebags and the bike project are going to be the bike project probably until it's done. Or until I have to do something like drill all the holes in the saddlebags, and that's my next step. I don't want to sit on stream trying to do that. Maybe if I put my tripod over that way, I can record it, or I can do it, I can live stream it, but we'll see. I don't even know if I want to do that in the house. That's going to make a mess. But the only thing I can't work on, or I can't finish, is the helmet. So if you're new here to what I'm doing, I'm making chainmail, and I'm putting chainmail on top of my saddlebags. And then we're going to use some leather cord to attach the chainmail to the saddlebag, or to the lid of the saddlebag. Make it unnecessarily heavy, but cool, right? And depending on how much blackened stainless steel I have, we might add some chainmail to the saddlebag itself. That depends. So you have a nice little community in the app. Yeah, there's a comment section, you know. It's not, right, like if you post there, there's no, what do they call them? No notifications get sent out or anything. And if someone comments on your post, nothing goes out. I am working on that. Someday in the future, I'll have that going to where you'll see, you know, you'll get a notification that someone commented, but, you know, it's nice. I go check it every now and then. People post there randomly every now and then. And it's, if someone has questions, they can start there. Little social wall inside the app. Just tried to make it as helpful as possible. No, it's fine. Honestly, it's cool to see that someone set that up for the community. I mean, I do have underhanded intentions by having my store link right at the top there. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it's, you know, if you never go to my store and you just use the app, that's not going to hurt my feelings because I will have introduced someone else to this ridiculous art form that I'm obsessed with. So I'm okay with it. But also buy my stuff. What was I saying before that? Oh yeah, so if I have enough black and stainless, which I might, we might work on putting chainmail on the saddlebags themselves, but as of right now, I don't have any plans to do that. The one thing that I got to figure out how to do is where to get my helmet hydro dipped at and what that's going to cost. Right? As a 100% disabled vet, right, I have my disability from the VA, right, and the, you know, like, I'm not made of money, right, so if it costs $1,000 to dip my helmet, that's going to be a while before that happens. What do I mean by saddle? So, like, motorcycle saddlebags. Here, I'll grab one for you and show you what I'm doing exactly. Yeah, come on. Stay on there. Okay, that's kind of how this is going to look. Right? So I've got the 4 diamonds there, and then it's going to have, I don't know how well you can see that, 3 trailing diamonds. And of course my hand covers up all of it. Right? And I'm going to have chainmail all around the lid. And we're going to line it up so that it's, wait, that goes further down. Where's the bottom? There. Right. It's going to go down here, okay, and then punch a bunch of holes in here and weave some braided cord through here and connect it to the chainmail, and it'll look cool. But first, we gotta make and size all the chainmail pieces that we're gonna be adding. So, cool. Skylar Swanson, thank you for the follow. Alright. And then we've got hydro dip the helmet, put some leather bands with spikes on it, because it's a bad idea. Don't do it. It's dangerous. But also, I'm not the world's most intelligent man, and I've wanted to do it for a long time. So, helmet, spikes, hydro dip the helmet, put a chainmail hydro dipped pattern on there, and then saddlebags, toolkit, helmet. Those are the 3 I have down here. Eventually, I'm going to take the front and rear fender off and the gas tank. Oh, and make a bib for a gas tank, for the Road King gas tank, right? With leather and chainmail on top of it. So that's all the stuff I have going on in the basement right now that I'm going to work on for the next several, probably through Christmas break. I think I can get it done by then. Then, once I have that done, I'm going to take the front and rear fender off and the gas tank off the Road King and get those hydro dipped with the chainmail pattern on them. And, you know, that'll be my motorcycle decoration. So, that's That's what I'm doing. I think I screwed this up more. That's okay. It's all going to come out in the wash. See if we can't get these lined up correctly. No? No, did I screw that up? So, this is what I was doing the other night, and I screwed it up, and I took it all apart, and now we're back to step one. But hopefully the fix is gonna work, and should be fine. We can start with other stuff. You know, get more work done as opposed to putting things together and then ripping them apart again. So I've got the 4-in-1 diamonds connected with elf weave, and now I'm connecting the large, this 4-in-1 diamond right here, connecting that using elf weave. And it's a bit of chainmail joinery, you know, using multiple weaves to connect different things, different pieces together. Kind of something I focused on. It's fun. It's, you know, I don't want to have just straight chainmail pieces. Right? I like decoration. I'm fancy. And so having some seams in here kind of breaks up the chainmail pattern. And is this full-time, hobby, or somewhere in between? This is all I do. I'm 100% disabled vet, and so I spend my time weaving all this stuff together and then designing and selling chainmail themed apparel and accessories, you know, print products on my website. So outside of this, I'm just a stay-at-home dad. You heard that? That's cool, man. Thank you. So I am my son's taxi, and his chef, and his maid, and a dog walker. I'm a dog walker now too. Got promoted. So all kinds of fun stuff going on in my life. But yeah. Stay-at-home dad for the win. So I was in the military for 7 years. Got out, went to school. I was a nurse in the military. Finished up my bachelor's in nursing. Then I was an RN for another 8 years. And between my injuries and, you know, just the degradation over time, the wear and tear of life on your body, I left nursing. And Pamela Walsh, thank you for the follow. And here I am. Connecting thousands of tiny rings together into stuff. High-tech storage solutions for your rings, coffee cans. What do we got? We got Hillshire Farms containers, coffee cans, Ziploc baggies, right? I do have some nice ring containers. I got these like little briefcase things that 12 of these pop into on either side, and then it folds up, so you have 24 cases or 24 containers in a case, right? Those are nice. But when I went to the container store the last time down in San Antonio, they didn't have any more. I looked online for them, and they want like $50 a pop for them. I was like, yeah, no, I'll just use my Ziploc baggies. Little sandwich bags, it's fine. Oh my goodness. So from the container store, but expensive. I don't remember them being that expensive at the container store. Like I said, online they were like $50 a piece. So maybe that's what they were when we got them, but it's been forever, and I don't recall. But they are great for ring storage. It was in 2008. It was still not cheap. Yeah. So I have 2 of those cases, right, that hold 24 of these each, and I have a few more coffee cups and some Hillshire Farms containers, and that's like the bulk of rings that need to be put together, which is awesome because it's a lot of work that I've gotten done. They all used to be full, and I had a lot more containers full of random rings that I was never going to use. So now I'm hoping that this all goes quickly. The blackened stainless steel that I have here, it was part of a shirt, and I had a large sheet of it. Santa will gift you new rings. All right. And so, like, the bulk of the work is done. It's just taking everything and cutting the sheets of chainmail down to size to fit the top of the lid, and then connecting it. And so it's not going to be an overnight project, but I've got 2 weeks coming up of Christmas break with the kid at home, and between taking care of him and the house and the dog and all that fun stuff, I mean, I think I'll have the bulk of it done by then. So I'm hoping. Cross your fingers. And also, don't hold me that timeline because I might get lazy. That has happened before. Where I'm very excited about finishing a project, and then I wake up the next day and it's like, yeah, it can wait. There's no urgency to get it done. Just one day. That's kind of how I was with my motorcycle vest. I think that thing took me like 3 years. Now, granted, it's a large project, right? And whether or not I worked on it, it was going to take a long time. But, you know, it sat around for a while before it was completely done. And then longer before it was completely finished. Because I think the last thing I did was stitch up the pockets on it so that they could be used, as opposed to just having chainmail over the pockets. And that was a project I was like, yeah, I don't feel like working on that today. Yeah, also I think I was in school when I started that project, so could happen with this. I don't think it will. I think that, you know, sitting down here for a little bit of measuring things out, we'll be done in no time. A lot of it is just taking stuff apart and then putting it back together. So this is one of many projects I want to get done this winter. We'll see how many I can get done. I've got a large inlay over here, Finnegan's Wake inlay, that I've been working on for years. The motorcycle vests. I went through this the other night. I had it all out, you know, in my head of all the projects I wanted to do while it was cold outside. I think that's about as far as we're going to get. Maybe, I want to leave that closed, or open rather. Do I actually use the magnifying glasses? I would if I really needed them. Yeah, that's nice. That's real nice. For really small rings, if I needed them. Like, I have some if I needed them. Oh, do I actually use the magnifying glasses from the app? Yeah, that's a similar item. The ones on the app are just more comfortable. I don't have a pair. Those are actually recommended by other chainmail artists that I know. There are chainmail artists who are very niche specific, and so they'll only be doing jewelry. It's all welded. They'll be polishing, you know, using Dremels to get into whatever they've created. And so, yeah, there are chainmail artists who use those. That's not just my list that I threw on there. That is, like the welder was recommended. I have one, but that was recommended by another chainmail artist, right? Is it blade resistant? Probably shouldn't pull that out. Okay, so resistant, yes. What does it mean when my hands smell like hot dogs, but I haven't had any hot dogs? Oh my god. I don't know the answer to that question. Well, I don't know an answer that I can repeat. Alright. I got you, SA. I understand why would you need a welder? Okay. Chainmail rings come in multiple forms, right? And they all have different attributes to them, right? I'm working with butted rings right here. It's probably the most common ring to use. That is where the ends of the ring just butt up against each other when you close it. There's nothing connecting them, right? There you go. So the ends of the rings are just touching. That's butted rings. There's your historically accurate riveted ring, right? Where the ends are flattened and overlay each other, you know, and then a rivet is driven through the ring, right? Now we have welders. We can weld the ends together of the rings to keep them from opening up when they're under pressure, right? There are split rings, which are like key rings that you can weave together in, you know, any chainmail pattern pretty much. And then there's these theta rings, which are riveted rings with a bar down the center, and they're really cool, and I want to play with some. I mean, it's just, having a welder is just a way to connect the ends to keep them closed, you know, especially if you're making really quality jewelry, right? You're using really small rings, generally out of something like sterling silver or gold, and you don't want to have someone grab the chain and then they pull on it and it rips apart, right? If you're going to make anything like this, you want it to last the next 1,000 years. So, ideally, anyway. You'll have a lot of questions if you get on your nerves. Let me know. Thanks for the info so far. No, ask away. It's literally why I'm here. And also to show off how cool chainmail is. And because I like the way I look on camera. Yeah, just to keep them closed. Keep the rings closed. Nope, ask away. It, gives me something to talk about as well. Let me figure this out here. No, I had it right the first time. Okay. Now I have something. I got a haircut. And now I have something in my eye. Ow. Oh, thank you for the share. Okay. Yeah. Under here. Through there. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, that worked. All right. So, there is a lot of history to chainmail. It's 2,000 years old, right? And in medieval Europe, they typically used riveted rings. You'll see few butted rings for repairs, some solid rings in with the riveted rings. And then as you go further east, right, you'll get to India. They use a lot of butted rings for parades and parade armor and stuff like that. And if you get to China and Japan, they have rings. Oh, where'd that go? And the ends of the rings are twisted around like a twist tie to hold them in place in some cases. Now, I lost that ring. It's gone. It's disappeared. I'm not a historian. I don't work at a museum or anything, and so, don't quote me on the accuracy of that. This is just 30 years of reading stuff online, on the internet, and that's my understanding, right? And things that I've seen. So, a lot of different ways to connect the ends of a ring. Alright. We're getting somewhere. This is working. I don't know if anybody was here on Monday night, right? I don't know if you remember how scrunched up this was already by the time I started adding this other side, but this is laying almost perfectly flat. It looks like I gotta fix something here. What did I do there? Went through the wrong ring. Happens all the time. It's always fun when you have to make an extra large correction in your work because you didn't catch it in time. It's the best. Just remember that it's no fun if you don't do it twice. Right? Okay, that's better. Am I streaming anywhere else? Yes. It's a lot better. Right on. I'm glad you can see that. I'm on Where am I at? Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook right now. All under the same name. I think we're... I don't know if... what you call it? What app are we on? TikTok. I don't know if TikTok punishes you for talking about other platforms. I know that, like on YouTube, if you swear in the first 30 seconds of a live, it gets dropped. Right? So I usually just say, I'm streaming on, you know, the other major platforms that you would normally find people on. So, and on the other platforms, I have an overhead camera, and, you know, you can see what I'm working on, a chat box, what do you call it? A scroll picture thingy that shows a bunch of stuff I've done, and then a picture, you know, my video, of a video of my face. Or, yeah. So, and one day I will get all of that on TikTok. I just need 10,000 followers. I'm only 8,432 followers away from hitting 10,000. So please, like, share, and follow so that I don't have to use my camera as my recording device. One day, one follower at a time, we'll get there. Usually, on a good live, I'll get like 6 to 8 new followers. I don't know if anyone's followed tonight. Some lives I'll only get 1, some I'll get none. But when we get a lot of likes, a lot of shares of the stream, usually get a few follows. And then I occasionally get follows off of videos, but I'm not made for making videos. You could teach me how to edit a video or how to use editing software, and it'd be like teaching a fish how to climb a tree. It's not gonna help me. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the share. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. But yeah, I have tried editing videos. Not on this platform, you know, and I mean it's like ridiculously easy on TikTok, right? So I've done better here than I have anywhere else. But I have like professional video editing software, and it's just like, oh, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, and it's fine. It's fine. I know my limitations. So I try to make all my videos in as few cuts as possible, with as few editing steps as possible, because I get to a certain point and I just get, you know, it's like, what am I doing? Now what am I doing? That there. I think I did that right. What's the background music? The background music is Pretzel Rock over on Streamlabs. Can you hear it well enough? I can turn it up, but that's a thing too. You know how you turn the sound down when you're driving so you can see the address, right? Because the music's too loud, you can't see, right? So a lot of times when I'm streaming, I'll have the music down just a little bit so that I can talk. Because for some reason, when it's too loud, I can't process thoughts. Thanks, government. Oh, you get the same way? Yeah. Alrighty. Almost done with this side. So yeah. Attach this, and then I'm going to start cutting out holes for the other 3 diamonds. And that's going to be an experience because I don't know what size exactly is going to match up. I have a general idea, but all right. We are going to kind of finish as much as we can on this side. This is the front that I'm working on, and I'm just going to leave it as is for now and start adding the smaller diamonds. You have to turn down game sounds, have a conversation with the party. Yeah. There you go. You know my pain. You understand my struggle. Alrighty. Doesn't that look good? Let's get a close-up of that. So, even, okay, the seams, the 4-in-1 diamonds, the 4 of them, right, are regular stainless steel. The seams are regular stainless steel. And the seam connecting it to the blackened stainless steel is just regular stainless steel. And I think that's, you know, even without the seams being blackened stainless steel, they still add texture, they still stand out, you know? And then Uncle Sam's Tinnitus fills in the gaps. Let me grab my saddlebag here. So that's the front. We're going to center a little bit more. All right. I wonder if we should leave the front of that hanging over the edge. I don't know. I want to pull it back a little more. We'll have to see how these 3 diamonds place right down the back. Oh. All right. That was too much work to get that done, but it's done. Why are we yelling? Because I'm yelling because I'm far away from my microphone. Yeah, chainmail saddlebag. Thank you for the roses. They smell so nice. Okay. Hat Sprue, thank you for the follow. Sprue Works. Oh, W-E-R-X. Just like Mailworks. It's like we're cousins. Okay. Next step. Is going to be dissecting a lot of this, right? So this is our center line, and I don't want too much space in between, but I want the diamonds to all face the same way, right? I think that's going to be an issue. Yeah. No? Maybe? What am I looking at here? If I do this. That is opposite, right? Yeah, okay, it is. I need the diamonds to all match up. So I don't even know how to ensure that. What are the differences in the colors of the material? So this is blackened stainless steel, which uses kind of, from what my understanding is, a type of oil bath technique that the Ring Lord was using to get the color difference. And so this will, in a non-static piece, like if I was wearing it as a piece of jewelry every day, that necklace or a bracelet or something, it would have a tendency to wear down more over time, but the saddlebags are just going to be sitting on my bike. They're not going to be moving around, rubbing around or anything. So it should stay dark for a long time. And I've got black and stainless steel on my motorcycle vest, and it's done pretty well. I haven't noticed any discoloration or fading, significant fading, right? So it's a oil bath process of some kind. I don't know specifically, but that's what I've been told. So nope, 1 diamond please. Okay, if I just follow this, it slants down that way. This one is slanting that way. And then I'm slanting that way. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Nunya. And I want here. I'm gonna pull out, so that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. I think 3 makes more sense. I'm trying to figure this out in my head. What is the difference between machine cut and saw cut? Okay, so let's see here. It's all about the kerf, okay? I'll give you an example. These are almost all saw cut, or machine cut, right? So I like to use machine cut for big sheet pieces like this where, you know, especially on a static piece, it's not going to be rubbing someone's skin raw, right? And let's see if I can get that to focus. So, I can't see. Hang on. Okay. If you look at the connection on this ring, and it's not going to focus. See where the two ends meet? Right? That is a machine cut ring. Okay? On a good saw cut ring, they use like, I think it's 6 thousandths of a kerf. It was 6 thousandths of a saw blade. 6,000 saw blade? 0.006. Right? And the kerf is really thin. The ends of the rings come together like butter, and it just if closed correctly, the ring, you know, you won't even see the closure, you won't feel it, right? Whereas a machine cut one, you'll always see it, you'll always feel it. You know, you can tumble the rings, machine cut and saw cut, to get rid of any burrs, any edges, right? You can dull those down with different like ceramic media or stainless media, stainless tumbling media. And so, male, correction on your spelling, yeah, it's all right. That is all right. So I tend to use saw cut rings for any jewelry, just because the closures are better, and they're not going to be pulling hair or dragging on skin as much. Nothing's perfect, but I really don't have an issue with any of the jewelry that I've made myself. So pieces like these. Those are all saw cut. Well, actually, this titanium is machine cut. This blackened titanium here, is it? Yeah. I think. I can't. I can't tell. I don't know. But those are all saw cut, and I don't really have an issue with them. So saw cut should be used for clothing and moving metal, and yeah, clothing if you're okay. No, clothing if you can tumble it, right? But generally clothing, saw cut rings are more expensive, right? So I use machine cut rings for large sheets that would be in clothing, right? And just because the expense of using saw cut rings in, say, a shirt would be very high. So just make sure that if you're going to make a piece of clothing, that the piece is free of burrs, that your closures are perfect, or as perfect as they can be, because you don't want to be wearing something and get it caught on your skin. And, you know, most chainmail clothing, right, you're going to have something on underneath it anyway. How did I get into doing this? Back when I was a young lad, I was hanging out with my uncle, who is a huge nerd, right? Like I worked with him at some haunted houses he set up with his friends. And one day, I was palling around with him, and he pulls out some pliers and some rings from a bag and starts working on a chainmail piece. And I was in, I don't know, 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, something like that. And I was heavily into the Redwall series, the young adult books about animals that fight. And Salamandastron is the best one. But I wanted to be the badger in the volcano in Salamandastron, who placed herbs on the fire in the forge and had visions. Took me a long time to realize that the badger was getting high in a volcano and making weapons. But yeah, I was reading those. I was reading the Wheel of Time series and a bunch of fantasy books at the time. This is all like before the Lord of the Rings movies came out, and Weta had all the chainmail that they made in there, and I guess is kind of what happened. And he gave me, I don't know, like 6 feet of wire, a piece of rebar, and some vice grips, and I hand wound the wire around the rebar, and I cut them with some snips he gave me, and these are like little tin snips, tiny ones, cutting 14 gauge wire. But I got it done, and I wove my first piece of chainmail, which I have no idea where it is now, right? It's long gone. And that's how I got started. And then I stared at a bunch of grainy pictures on the internet, figuring out how to visually make other weaves, and I made a bikini, lined it with leather, trimmed it with rabbit fur for a friend in high school. I was working on a shirt for the longest time, which part of the reason why I made the Mailworks app is because I don't want people stuck on this large, obscene project that they decided to get into. Go do something else before you do a shirt. Have fun with chainmail, because I got stuck on this shirt project for years and did not advance very much for the longest time. So about a decade ago, I finally really started. Well, no, 15 years ago, I started really getting serious about it. Right? No, I don't play D&D. I can't do tabletop games. I'm okay with taking someone's life, and there's no tabletop game that I could sit through. Yeah. My family abused me with Monopoly growing up, and so those were dark times. What tools do you need to make chainmail? Okay, these are my grandfather's pliers from back in the day. These are the ones he gave me when I first started out, right? Had them for forever. They've lasted for forever. One's from Japan, one's from China. This one's from China, this one's from Japan. Last forever. This I used on 14 gauge galvanized steel fence wire, right? These are Wubbers pliers. They're expensive. They lasted me a long time before the spring bar in there broke on this side. This is off the shelf from Lowe's. Came in a set with a bunch of other different pliers. And these are Xuron, Xuron. These are the ones I have recommended in the Mailworks app. If you download that, there's a tool section that you can go and check out, right? That is for, I use these for 20 gauge and smaller. These for anywhere from 16 to 16 gauge to 20 gauge, right? And these are generally for anything like 16 gauge and larger, right? So you'll need a lot of different pliers based, just depending on what you want to do. This is a tool, I forget what it's called. It's a caliper, that's what it is. Excuse me. If you get to a point where you're advanced enough that you really want to get specific with what you're doing, get yourself a set of digital calipers, right? Because you're going to be sitting there working with a ring size, and you're going to go, I don't know what this is. And you're going to need to figure it out. What is that? Oh, that's my thing. Kitchen scale, right? You're going to know what your pieces weigh, especially if you go to sell them. You're a collision repair technician. You're not afraid of buying tools. Right on. Chainmail versus chainmail. You mean no offense, but what is the difference besides spelling? Nothing. Chainmail, M-A-I-L, right, is the Google search term. So when someone types in the chainmail, M-A-I-L, right, they're more likely to stumble across what they're looking for than they are if they do the M-A-I-L-L-E, right? I don't think there's a big difference between those two words if you use them as search terms. So, but it's just spelling, right? You'll find people on the internet. This is a fun one. If you start making chainmail, you're going to find the first group of people who are going to say that butted rings aren't chainmail, right? Okay, you can make chainmail from butted rings, riveted rings, welded rings, split rings, which are key rings, theta rings. Then they have these rings that are they're like half rings. The inside half of the ring is missing, right? And those make some cool weaves too. The app should be listed in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. Or if you go to mailworks.com, there's an app section on there. Jason, thank you for the follow. So yeah, the first group of people you'll come across is that's not real chainmail, bro. And I always hit them with my chainmail purse and, ask them if that felt real. Then the second group of people are going to be the people who say, well, it's mail, not chainmail, and blah, 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 right? And I always like to say that mail is a French term for netting, which is not the right word for what I'm doing, because it was the Etruscans that came up with chainmail and gave it to the Celts long before the French ever had it. And what they called it, we don't know. So we don't actually know the word, the ancient word that this used to be called by the people who invented it. So don't come at me with your linguistics misnomers, man. You'll find those people. But yeah, chainmail, MAIL, is the most commonly used Google search term for what I'm doing right now. So I just call it chainmail. And then whenever someone corrects me, I just die a little inside. Excuse me. Alright. I think I know what I'm going to do here. We're going to go down. This is the center between those two. Okay. Burp, burp, derp, derp. Or is that the last one? Alright, I'm just trying to make sure that when I go to tear these out that it's centered. Yes, I connect every individual link. Right? I have a lot of this black and stainless steel already made. It was going to be a shirt, and then the company that made the rings changed their manufacturing process, and I wasn't going to be able to get matching rings for this. And then I just never did anything with it, and so now we're making saddlebag covers. But yeah, every individual ring. I have probably like 1.5 million, 2 million rings closed and woven together. Easy. Right? Projects like this jelly cube. This is 10,000 rings at a minimum by itself right now. And I'm going to add more. What did I make work? Oh yeah, don't get into this hobby if you do drugs, right? You need money for drugs. You won't have any money if you do this hobby. I'm just kidding. Don't do drugs. Do this hobby. I'm gonna tear this apart now. It's fine. This is fine. Clint Perucci, thank you for the follow. Hope I pronounced that right. Alright. Oh, that's way too far away. What am I doing? There. I mean, I'll have to remove those anyway, but that wasn't what I meant to do. Alright. I connect into every individual ring, and I make this stuff on computer, and I design it in my sleep, and I'm not, like, I'm okay, okay? I'm okay at this. I'm decent. I know what I'm doing. I have a general idea of what I want and how to get there, all right? There are people who are, they've forgotten more about chainmail than I'll ever know, okay? Like, how do I know those people are out there? Because I've met them. Like, and as nerdy as I am about this stuff, they are. Oh, what does a shirt weigh in 14 gauge wire? I couldn't tell you. So your average shirt is going to be somewhere between 15,000 and 25,000 rings, depending on your size. Say you're using, I don't know, 16 gauge 1/4 inch. And I want to say that that's somewhere between 25 and 30 pounds, but I could be very wrong. Just know that. I could be very wrong about that. I don't have a scale here. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get much over 30 pounds. Right? You know, and we're talking like goes down to your wrists and the sleeves, goes down to your knees, right? From the neck to your knees. 24 to 28 pounds. Yeah, that's probably in the right area. It's really going to depend on what ring size you use, what gauge wire you use, right? All the details, and that's going to be what determines the weight. So like I have 3 shirts over there. I don't think any of them are over 20 pounds. But I was using like 16 gauge rings, and they're not light, but once you get them on, they're not terrible. I'm actually going to tear all of them apart and make them much more wearable. That's going to be a fun project. That's not going to happen anytime soon. That's just a new goal I have. I'm going to go off of that. That's what I'm going to do. I could theorize about this all day, but the fact of the matter is that that's going to be my best bet. I think. I don't know. Might screw it up. Oh well. Alright. No to tearing the shirts apart. It's got to happen. Got to happen. Trying to create this in reverse. Sorry. So I think that if I do that, then maybe that's not what I want, though. Maybe I want the opposite of the reverse of this. That's going to be fine. Okay. Do what you do? Yeah. Well, okay, so I can go and slip them on and be just fine. Right? That's fine. A little tight. Not a lot of breathing room. You know, gotten a little older, a little fatter. And so, you know, really they just sit there on display. They're a nice display. They're cool. They're an example of the work that I've done. But it kind of seems like a waste. So, what I'm going to do is take them apart and then make them wearable by lining them with leather, just like my motorcycle vest, because my motorcycle vest is wearable and comfortable, right? How am I going to attach them to the tops of the saddlebags? I'm going to drill a bunch of holes. Basically, for each ring, I'll be drilling a small hole, and then I'll just grab my motorcycle vest and show you what I did. Alright, how well can we see that? So, you can see the cord going around the side here. That correlates to one hole in the vest, right? Then I braided it all, made it nice and professional looking. And each hole kind of correlates with a ring, right? And I did that all over the vest. Front, back, tops, bottoms, pockets. Even did the pockets. That's gonna fall. You can't drill into your leather pro bags. That is a Japanese 12-2 pattern. Historical Japanese patterns, you'll really only see like Japanese 4-1. But you know, over the course of the last 40 years, the number of weaves of chainmail has risen exponentially. The number of materials you can make chainmail with has risen exponentially. It's just a whole like niche renaissance going on in this small chainmail universe, where so many more options become available. Right, you have materials that you can use to make butted rings that hold themselves in place pretty well, as opposed to, say, an iron ring in the medieval ages. So, like, the weaves get improved, they make new ones, and it's, you know, I came along at the right time, because otherwise I don't know what I'd be doing. Okay. So you can't drill into your leather pro bags. I mean, I have just the regular leather Harley saddlebags. And if you don't know what you're doing, don't drill into them. But I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm not worried about that at all. You can't justify doing that to them? Nope, I get it. I had a guy that wanted me to put a chainmail fringe on his rear fender. I was like, to mount that, I'm going to need to make several holes into your fender, the way you're telling me to do it. It's like, I'm not qualified to do that. So, I get it. But I've had this thought in my head for a long time, and I finally got the time to sit down and do it, and I've got the, like, I don't need to order any rings for this. They're all sitting here in the basement. You know? Okay. Gonna have to take this piece by piece because, or section by section, is I'm not sure how big of a piece to remove to put this next diamond in. So we're gonna remove a little bit more here, and then we're gonna be putting the diamond in and removing material at the same time and figure it out as we go along, which opens us up to mistakes, but also there's really not any other way to do it except doing like a one-for-one adjustment as you go along. Glad I found your page. Got to run. We'll check in later. Hey, appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for the conversation. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Come by anytime. I've got plenty of stuff to make. And so part of that is making it, you know, on lives, showing people that you can do this weird hobby and make cool stuff out of it. So, all right. Peace. Have a good one, man. Or woman. I'm going to assume man. Person. That's safe, right? All right. Let me get a drink of water here. So I've got my E4-1 diamonds here. They've got the larger rings on the outer edge. And where I opened this up, right, I need to add larger rings in here. so that these two pieces can be woven together. Some people just say, have a good one, and that covers it. Yeah. Yup, have a good one. All right. So this is not exact, but if we have to make adjustments, we can make adjustments. We're much farther along than I hope to get to tonight, so happy about that. All right, this is also this is an experimentation because, like, I'm only half certain this will work. Right? Like, there's no reason it shouldn't work. Cut out the holes and start putting more other material in. It's got to work. Watch it not. But yeah, there's... Someone was asking about, when I got started doing this, and I mentioned that I really got serious about it about 15 years ago. And that was while I was on deployment, on my first deployment. I had brought a bunch of supplies with me and was able to finish up my crappy shirt that I'd started years before. And so... And at the end of it, here's the thing. What am I making? Making a cover for my motorcycle saddlebags. So this is going to go over the top of the saddlebag. We're going to punch a bunch of holes, small holes in the saddlebag lid. And then weave it all together with leather cord. And right now I'm cutting a hole to put this diamond in. If you love what I do, oh, thank you. I love that you're here. Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty cool. I've seen one other person do chainmail on their saddlebags, and one other person do like their whole bike in scale mail, and that was pretty cool. And I want to. I've got the saddlebags. A bib for the gas tank, the toolkit, and then I want to hydro dip my helmet, the front and rear fenders, and the gas tank in a chainmail pattern. And just give my bike chainmail themed. And then I'm going to get chainmail tattoos. And I have a chainmail hoodie and a chainmail neck gaiter right there. And my whole world is this stuff right here. It's really the only thing I'm good at. Like, I was an okay nurse, right? Like, I was even pretty good at being a nurse. But I definitely enjoy this much more. Not gonna lie. Like, being a nurse was quite the experience. especially different different units like cardiac units and burn units, and I never worked pediatrics or like labor and delivery or anything, but I did oncology, burns, not occupational therapy, orthopedics, right? So you get to see a lot of cool stuff when you work in healthcare, but I like to make cool stuff more than I like to see cool stuff. Pineapples, thank you for the follow. What's going on? Why am I not connecting? Sometimes you'll get rings that are slightly out of round. That was a quality control issue that more than one manufacturer has stumbled upon. Or, you know, they find themselves sending out these bent rings. Alright. Okay, so this is only like halfway removed, and we're just gonna size it out as we go along here. And hopefully it all lines up center and like that. I mean, it looks right on the overhead. All right. So this is not a technique I recommend for doing this. You should accurately measure out all of the steps you're going to take, but if you can't do that, then just wing it. It'll be fine. Doing it twice is no problem. I think that was the title I put on, not here on TikTok, but on the other platforms I'm streaming on. The title's something like, why do something once when you can do it twice? Why do something right the first time when you can do it twice while you correct yourself, or something like that? It's so much fun. Where are we at here? Oh, look at the time. Okay. Thought Zen was open. You thought the Zen was open and closed to the ring. The destination is unimportant. Yeah, there is some Zen in opening and closing rings for sure. You know, but you get more Zen if you open and close them all twice. Excuse me. Isn't that how that works? It's not frustrating at all to have to go back and correct yourself. Wow. Correct yourself, right? It's peaceful. Come on. That ring doesn't want to play nice. Not sure if that was a spring steel ring, but did not want to lay closed. All right. So, I like the way this is seemingly going. Question is, I don't know if that matters. was going to say, the question is, did I make it so that the diamonds all lay the same way correctly? And maybe. We are making some chainmail saddlebag covers. How you doing, Guardian? Let me... This looks really, really cool, dude. Thank you. I think it's really, really cool. Give me a sec and I'll finish this next line up and show you kind of what it is looking like. Can you make me a chainmail Speedo? Does everybody remember when I was talking earlier about the different types of people you meet when making chainmail, right? You know, you got the linguistics guardian, you know, that it's got to be male and not chainmail, and right? I am blending two different colors together. Chainmail rings have a lot of color to them anymore. There is anodized niobium, very expensive but very shiny. Anodized titanium, which is a little more matte, or can be. And then anodized aluminum, which I think has the largest color variety. But what I'm using right now is blackened stainless steel and regular stainless steel. And the blackened stainless steel is like a put in some kind of oil bath to make it black. I don't know the whole process. It was made by the Ring Lord up in Canada. So whatever process, whatever secret soup they have to make the rings black, it works, but it comes off on your hands a little bit. Yeah, so you got the linguistics moderator who monitors what the correct term is. You've got people who will tell you that's not real chainmail, and you got people like Ty who want a chainmail condom or a chainmail Speedo or a loincloth to keep his pee-pee safe. If you start making chainmail, you will run into these people, I guarantee it. Will chainmail actually stop a sharp blade? That is dependent upon a lot of things. So, what I have right here, yeah, probably, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, sure. These are butted rings. They're not, the ends of the rings are not, you know, closed off in any way. They're just touching, right? So, if you get a blade right on that closure, you know, it could go right through, right? Depends on the style of blade. If the rings are welded or riveted or really thick and difficult, take a lot of pressure to open, you're going to have more of a chance of the blade being stopped. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's not going to do nothing, but it might not do what you need it to. So, that's another thing. Chainmail as an armor is really for like stopping slashing blows. Okay, you throw a spear, you shoot an arrow fast enough, you get, you know, a good thrust in there with a sword. Good chance that you'll go through this, and that's been countless YouTube videos demonstrating that. Right, the you know, the backside, the thin pointy part on the back of a battle axe, right? Or a mace. Yeah. And that'll, you know, go through chainmail. It deflects slashes better than it deflects penetration, right? Kukri versus Stiletto Blade. One is designed to beat mail, but mail is made to stop shark bites today. Armor survives. You get bruises and breaks still, yeah. Chainmail can be worn underneath armor. It, you know, use some plate mail and have chainmail in the gaps of your armor only. You can have chainmail all underneath your armor. It just depends on what medieval period you're talking about or what kind of garb you want to wear out in your LARP field today or whatever. So, all right, it is late and I'm not going to be able to finish putting this in, but let me show. Turtle said neat. Thank you, Turtle. Let me grab my saddlebag here. We'll do one last demonstration for everybody in the comment section. It's falling off. Okay. So, this is essentially what we're making, right? A very large chainmail saddlebag cover. Why? Because I can. No other reason not to. And we're going to have, we've already started putting this first diamond in, and we're going to have at least one more, maybe not two. It doesn't look like there's going to be room, for two. No, it looks like I'm going to run out of room. But that's okay, right? 4 followed by 2, that's fine. It's gonna be cool, either way, right? And then we'll punch a bunch of holes in the edge, weave some leather cord through the holes in the saddlebag and the holes in each ring, and put it all together. And looks cool, bro. That looks amazing. Thanks, guys. All right. And it's black and silver, and it's gonna match my Harley. It's gonna match my motorcycle vest, and looks like the handle of a katana. Nice. I agree. I know exactly what you're talking about. All right. So, for everyone watching, thank you for being here. My name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. If you're interested in learning how to make chainmail, in the link tree in my bio is the Mailworks app, which has all the resources I wished I had when I was growing up. It's not an exhaustive list, but it's got like ring manufacturers and websites, where to order rings from, where to find tutorials, where to find other people who make chainmail. Everything I could think of that would be helpful to a new person and a veteran, all in one app, right? So please, if you want to learn more, go check that out. If you like what you see and you want to keep me doing this, please go check out mailworks.com. It's my website where I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and make cool stuff like this neck gaiter. Or I need to get some stuff that's actually on the website. I've got old stuff that's not up anymore. But things like this hoodie, right? So I design and sell things like that. All on my website. Please go check it out. Buy something so that I can continue to do this. I don't know what I would be able to do if I didn't do this, but I'd figure it out. And please give a like, follow, and share if you want to see more of me. I've got to get to 10,000 followers so that I can use my computer instead of using my phone, and you'll get a better view of what I'm doing, and it'll be better for everyone in the long run. But yeah, go check out mailworks.com. Check out the link tree if you want to learn how to do this. And I appreciate all of you chilling, hanging out here with me. I am going to call it a night. It is a school night, but Christmas break's coming up, so we may have a few nights in there where we run late, have a good time. All right? So thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Had a lot of good people just chilling, asked a lot of good questions, and I enjoyed myself, and I hope you did too. So have a good night, everyone. I've got to get some stuff done before the end of the night. I've got to get, up early to get the kids to school. So you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for hanging out. Now we'll talk to you all later. Bye. Alrighty. Okay, and as for everyone over here, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. Same thing applies to you. Go check out mailworks.com. Buy something nice Christmas time. You're not going to get everything you want for Christmas because what you want is at mailworks.com. So when you don't get what you want for Christmas, go to mailworks.com and get what you want. That's right. Talking to you. Also, check out the Mailworks app. Whoever's watching. And John, I'm sure you're still watching, so you have a good night.